What's happening, guys? Welcome to Ant's Bodybuilding and Fitness. So in this video I thought I'd do something a little different. I'm going to be talking about contest prep. So basically for anyone who is thinking of stepping on stage for the first time this year, either in bodybuilding, physique, bikini, figure, any of those, I want to give you an idea of what it's like. But not from my point of view, because we've done that already. Today we're going to be interviewing my wife Sarah.
Hi.
And we're basically just me going through a few questions about what it's like living with someone in prep for those 4, 6, however many months it ends up being. And I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know what her answers are going to be like. But yes, we shall see. So first question. Right. Okay. So hello.
Hello.
Right. So the first question I have for you, wifey Sarah, what was the biggest challenge for you whilst I was on prep?
Okay. The biggest challenge was putting up with you.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
Obviously, for the majority of your prep, especially deep into your prep, you were very irritable and lethargic and not yourself. And I think the biggest challenge was being patient and knowing that it wasn't going to be forever, and I had to keep reminding myself that it was a temporary change. But because of the amount of time that you dieted for, which was well over 40 weeks, I think that was the hardest thing, the long period of time that you have to kind of be patient.
Yeah, that's true, because for me it was kind of like, I knew there would be an end point, but seeing it from your point of view, it's different. You can't really see an end point. You're just like, why is he like this? But yeah. That's what you mean. Cool, good answer. Right, next question. Why is my camera zooming in? Okay. Next question is, should we go back to me for a second? No, let's go back to a prettier face. Right, question number 2. What would you advise, or what advice would you give to partners whose, like husbands or wives, girlfriends are competing for the first time?
My best advice I could give is don't take anything personally. I think when you're on prep, I took a lot of your irritability, taking your irritability out on me sometimes, and your lack of eating with me, and your just lack of energy and not wanting to go out or have dinner or do anything. I think sometimes I took it quite personally, and I think it's just being very understanding about that. It's got nothing to do with me, our relationship. And I think it's just remembering that there is a reason to it and it's not anything personal.
Okay.
Being patient as well.
Yeah, good answer. I'd never thought of it, but yeah, that's true, isn't it? Okay, and what advice would you give to, like, for those competing for the first time, like people who have partners, like husbands or wives or girlfriends?
My advice is try to get them involved with the prep as much as possible. I know some of the people that you competed against, their partners actually joined in with some of their diets, which I know made a big difference for them, because they can sort of understand what they're going through. But I think from a bodybuilder's perspective, it's better to try and get their partners involved, so explain what's happening and make them aware of what's going on, and ask them advice, ask them posing advice, and try and get them involved with it so they don't feel like they're separate from the
that's true.
the process.
Do you think I let you get involved a little bit?
I don't know if you let me, more than I kind
You
of...
did. Yeah. You did give me some really
involved.
good... You did give me really good posing advice, actually. You definitely helped with my dodgy shoulder that I kept doing with my, backdoor biceps. But, that was cool. Right, and now, what changes did you notice in myself when I was on prep? I imagine there were quite a few.
So you want me to give you a list?
Yeah, it's going to be a long list.
Okay.
I guess, go
So
on.
one of the first things that I noticed that you changed was your energy levels.
Yeah.
So obviously, which progressively got worse the deeper you got into your prep, but you're obviously unable to go upstairs, unable to go out. Was that a view?
Oh, that was the stairs, but you can't really see them from here.
It was a really useful shot then.
Yeah.
So your lethargy, your lack of enthusiasm, your irritability, as I mentioned before, again,
that's true.
got worse towards the deep end of your prep. your weird hunger.
Yeah.
So your constant talking about food, that was the biggest change actually. The constant everything we talked about, you would bring it somehow back to a topic about
that is
food,
true.
no matter what we were talking about. So the topic of conversation changed.
Yeah, it was always about food. And that's weird actually, kind of now having been out of prep for like 4 months and not being obsessed with food, that is one of the biggest things you notice, like when you get back to normal. But yeah, food, you'll become, once you get very lean, you become obsessed with food, definitely. Right, okay, what were the worst moments, or like the worst moment for you? The one I can think of is that walk we had.
This was what I was going to say.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
So, your show was obviously 1 week before,
After.
Our show was 1 week after our 1 year anniversary. Kind of wanted to spend some time together and do something for our first anniversary. So dragged Anthony to the park.
That was fun.
It's the only thing I could think that we could do, because we couldn't go out for a meal, couldn't go anywhere.
So we went for a walk.
And our park has the shortest hill you could imagine, and by the time we got to the top, you were dying.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible. I
just remember thinking, oh, this is not fun. It's not a fun way to spend our first anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
That was probably the lowest point,
yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, that did suck, I remember that. But at least I made a steak after.
The steak was nice.
Steak, yes. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to chip in. Yeah, in terms of bad moments, they always tend to revolve around, from my point of view, like food and, what was that, walking?
I was going to say, if you're going to speak for that long, it might be worth putting the camera on you rather than me sitting here listening to you.
Yeah, that's cool. We don't... Well, anyway, carry on. That's the end of that question. Okay, so what were the best moments, or were there any... would you say there were any good moments, any redeeming points with the whole contest prep?
I think the best part was the end.
So,
well, it was seeing you on stage, seeing the final product as such. Actually, I've got another thing for the worst bit. Can we go back?
Yeah, go on. No, you can. I'll just keep rolling. What was it?
No, can you add it into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so another worst bit was travelling down to your first show.
Oh yeah.
When you were drinking gallons of water.
Yeah.
And we were driving my car, and you were desperate to go to the toilet constantly.
That was fun.
And to the point where you got so desperate that you had to sit in the back in case you had to pee into a bottle. And I had to just sit up front by myself while you were sitting in the back of the car.
That was pretty cool.
That was the worst.
Yeah, but that's, when you drink lots of water as a bodybuilder, but yeah, that can't have been nice for you. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, back to the best.
So the best part was watching you on stage.
Yeah.
Obviously, watching you win your category, the novice class and best wheels, and then going to win the overall. It kind of felt like all the effort and time we'd both spent during prep was worth it. But even before you won, just watching you on stage, doing your thing.
Yeah.
And you looked very in place up there.
Yeah.
And you looked happy, and I think that made me very proud.
Oh, thanks.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
So that was probably the best part, just seeing the final stage and knowing that it was coming to an end.
Yeah. No, definitely. No, that's cool. I was going to ask, what was it weird seeing me on stage for the first time? I will ask that. Was it strange? So for anyone whose partner is competing, so was it weird for you seeing me on stage?
No.
Or was it kind of normal?
We'd spent so much time doing posing practice.
Yeah, that's true.
I was sort of used to you doing practice. It was weird seeing you as this weird tanned alien thing. Well, it didn't look like that on stage, but in the hotel room it looked very odd.
Yeah, it's a dark tan, isn't it?
But the weirdest bit was hearing other people that do not know you cheering for you.
Oh, really?
So, obviously, as you can probably remember from the video of the first show, the woman that was sitting behind us screaming for your number.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then when we told her your name was Ant, and then her just screaming for you, and hearing other people screaming for your number, I think that was the weirdest thing, knowing other people are supporting you and they don't even know you. I'm sitting there thinking, wow, that's my husband.
Oh.
That was the weirdest
That was strange.
thing.
Okay. Oh, cool. Right, then we're going to wrap up with a couple more. How long was it before things got back to normal, would you say?
So a lot longer than I would expect.
Right, yeah.
we went on holiday not long after the last show, and I expected you to be getting back to normal then.
Yeah, it wasn't
Obviously,
the case.
then we had the issue of binging and ridiculous water retention. So it was then I realised that it was going to take a little bit longer than I expected to get back to normal. I would say it took a good 6 weeks, if not a couple of months, to really get you feeling normal again.
Yeah, I'd say it felt that
again.
as well.
Obviously, your energy level started to come back, your libido started to come back, your wanting to just be a normal person and eating normally again just started to come back. I would say probably around Christmas time, so you're talking about
a couple of
6
months.
weeks, maybe 3 months.
It felt a bit before Christmas actually, before I was normal, I'd say.
I think the energy level started to come back.
Yeah, a bit sooner.
Then, but
even the relationship with food, that changed as well. But yeah, so you reckon about like 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably right. And is there anything you would change, like for my prep, like going into future shows?
I would make sure you didn't get as lean as you did
Straight
last
away.
time. Well, even as lean as you did for your finals, because that didn't work out very well, and I think you almost killed yourself for no reason.
Yeah, I pushed things a bit too far, for sure.
I would say to try and be a little bit less restrictive with yourself, and be a little bit more able to let some things go on the occasion. It's good to be...
And I think you mentioned, about listening to you as well, because you and like AJ as well were saying you don't need to get any leaner.
Not to go leaner.
Yeah,
and you ignored us.
You were both saying it, and I kind of ignored it, and it backfired. But so listen to you more.
And I think it's just a case of not being as structured as you were. Sometimes it's good to be structured, but sometimes to just let some things go a little bit.
Yeah.
So on the odd occasion, go out and have a meal.
Yeah.
And then,
because it can be done.
Exactly. So I think that would probably be my advice for the future.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Those are some great answers. Let me just flip this around. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Thank you, Sarah, for answering those questions and revealing what an arsehole I was during those 6 months of prep. But no, that's true. I mean, I think from my point of view, the most important thing is make sure that you do have that support. I mean, Sarah was, I've said it before, she was amazing, so supportive during my whole prep. And I think it is important to have that support from family and friends, because, it gets pretty rough. And I guess it's a journey you go through together, really. But you're the one that's seen the good stuff, so it's just taking into account it's very difficult for the other person involved. But that's all. That's the end of my video. Actually went on a bit longer, but that's cool. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Instagram for daily fitness tips, and click like if you like the video, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.